Night for us, obviously, far and away our worst in terms of points given up defensively in the league. Um, I thought actually our first shot defense was pretty good, but we gave up way too many second chance opportunities. And then we were just fighting from behind all night and never could really, excuse me, get ourselves over the hump. Felt like it was an 8-point game for the entire second half. Really, every time I looked up at a timeout, it was 8. We just never could really put the pressure on them in a one possession game to really make them have to make plays, and certainly made some really silly fouls to help keep that distance. So, but credit to Texas. I thought they were the aggressor from the start of the game, particularly on the rebounds, and played pretty well. We just not good enough on the road to get the job done. That's a good question. I'm not, you know me, Jacob. I'll have to go back and watch the film. We didn't have the resistance at any part of the floor, really. I got to figure out what exactly it was. I don't know if it was that they adjusted how they were attacking us, because obviously we defended them much better at our place. So figure out what it was that they made an adjustment on that. Maybe somehow we see them in Kansas City, we can make an adjustment also.
What fouling? So you mentioned a lot of fouls. Do you see anything there that you can correct off the top of your head, or is it just going to?
Yeah, some of them were just poor positioning. I mean, we reached, we went for steals late. We were just out of position a lot, tonight. Felt like we were always reacting to what they were doing instead of, kind of taking a fight to them, which is what we talked about doing. So, a lot of fouls just come from being, if you're out of position, you got to try to catch up, and they make you pay. I think there was a lot more transition opportunities both ways. Both teams, I think, made a conscious effort to try to get out and run more. Hard to say it after you give up 89. I still think we're a good defensive team. That those are the same guys, right? That held these guys to 56 and have held most of our opponents well below any kind of number like this. So I just think there was a conscious effort for both teams to try to get easier baskets, and they did it on the offensive glass much better than we did, and they got to the free throw line and converted. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's saw he went down the other day. We kind of re-aggravated the same injury. So we're just fighting to try to make sure we get him as healthy as possible. And when we do that, we'll get him back out there. Well, Brock is one of the more intelligent players that I've coached against. I've seen the kid play for a long time. Since he was in high school, he's always been that kind of cerebral player who can defend multiple positions, understand spacing on the floor, isn't afraid to take big shots when his team needs it. And obviously he's been around this program a long time. He knows what it means, being from this city, to put that uniform on and play with the kind of pride that it takes to be successful. They got a lot of length. They don't have a lot of girth, but Dessou and Mitchell, and they just got really, really good basketball players. Brock's one of them.
Mike, is Texas athleticism one of the rare problems you guys have? Seems like the athleticism really kind of is an issue. It's rare for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare that we see a team that's equal to or more athletic than us across the board. And obviously, I don't think they're overwhelmingly more athletic, but I think in terms of their roster, if you look at just athletically, they may have an edge there. So it's something that we got to adjust to. As we go through the league, I can't think of who else we haven't played, but we've seen most everybody at this point. And we don't have to see these guys again unless we see them in Kansas City. But they're a really, really good basketball team. Wow, I'm not sure. Clearly, he's not a bad free throw shooter. I don't know if it's something psychological for him here. And it kind of dates back early. I mean, this was something that kind of reared its ugly head in the Southern Illinois game. I can still remember vividly not being able to close that thing out at home. So we just got to keep working through it. He's still shooting the ball from 3 well, and it's just don't know if he's not seeing it. Maybe we need to adjust his mechanics. But it's certainly an issue right now for us.
What do you feel like with kind of the story last story happened after the first half, the second story last five plays, the first half, the first half, the second half? What do you feel like happened there to
Yeah, I'll be honest. We just didn't play with enough toughness in either situation to end the half. We got sped up. We didn't execute. Really, really simple things. Like just getting the ball in bounds was a chore. And then just executing our entry passes in offense, really kind of, we played on our heels in both of those segments. And I don't know if it was fatigue. We obviously were dealing with some foul trouble in the first half. But not to make excuses, Texas took advantage and played better than we did to finish the half and start the half. And basically, that was the difference in the game. I mean, we never were really able to recover from that run and get it back to where, it was a 3-point game again.
John Michael, you kind of, I won't say you're in a slump, but you struggled the last few weeks. Did you feel like better tonight shooting the ball? Kind of what did you feel like the way you played?
Well, I don't really say I play good whenever we lose, because ultimately we play to win. I think I helped a little bit positively, but there's a lot of negatives that went wrong in the game that I was responsible for. But, yeah, I have been in a little slump, but my coaches and my teammates, they just keep giving me confidence. I'm still getting extra shots up just seeing the ball go in, so it was good to see a couple go in. But, I would have rather got the win and had 0 points, than lose and have 18 points. So, but it is good to see it go through.
Like Coach Mike said, it's just toughness, like they just out-toughed us on the glass, We, like he said, our first shot defense was pretty good. We just couldn't come together and get that defensive rebound going the other end and transition, If we get them stops and get the rebounds, we can get on transition and score, and it's a whole different ballgame at that point.
Anyway, guys, a simple question. You had frustration this season, but what was the level of frustration tonight? Not being able to close the gap, foul troubles, things like that. What was that?
It was just things that we normally execute well on the defensive end. When we didn't do it, it was just, it was just a tough pill to swallow, because we know that's what keeps us in games and helps us close games. And not to be able to do our bread and butter, just, it kind of just, it hurts because, that's what you're good at. And if you're not doing that, you get a little down in the game, just thinking which way is it going to go. But you just got to go back to the drawing board and practice and get our identity back. We can't let this loss determine the rest of our season, because we still have, I think, about 10 more games left in conference. And with this team, we got a lot of guys who believe in each other, and we believe in the process that the coaches present in front of us, and we're just going to execute the best way we can.
This is for you, the player. What would you say to a future team who would have to face Texas? How would you recommend?
Just you gotta make sure to keep them off the glass at all times. Like they're a good offensive team, but if you keep them off the glass, you limit their second chance points, and it's anybody ball game at that point when you come down on offense and execute. So I'll just say keeping them athletic guys off the glass, like Coach Mike said, they just as athletic as us. So you gotta do what you gotta do to get that defensive rebound, so you can get them offensive transition points and execute on the offensive end.
For more information, you can visit TulsaWorld.com.